This is the PVC foam that we put in to replace the wood and the glass on the backside, the Samish construction. This is one of the things that makes Key West boats superior to other boats. We're proud of this. Next step here is where we're putting the hardware on the boat. We've already cut the holes using the routers and the hole saws, and now we're assembling the components to the deck. Here's a pop-up cleat that we put on. These are the lids that we use the drill fixtures for. All the holes lined up perfectly, and it's a perfect fit every time. And anywhere we can through bolt things through at this point, that's where we'll through bolt things on. So do much of the rigging on the deck now as we can. Get it pre-rigged so it can go on top of the hull. So this is the deck that will set on top of the hull like a shoebox. The deck will sit over the top of the hull and be fastened all the way around. Well, here's where things literally come together. Here's where the deck area we've been talking about and the hull area will come together. The deck will come down and it'll fit over like a shoebox. On top of the stringer, we'll put a bead of putty, put down on top of the stringer, seals all the holes where we put in the foam, and it'll make a perfect fit between the top and the bottom, the deck and the hull. As it comes together, that putty will squish down and make a perfect bond in between. This area here will come down and fit over the top of this area and be fastened all the way around and sealed with 5200 so there's not a leak. Here's something that's hidden in a Key West boat that just looking at it you wouldn't know was there. Here's aluminum plate that we glass into the laminate. It's between the gel coat and the layers of glass, and this is the reinforcement for your engine bolt holes. A lot of companies will put it on the front side so you can see it, but we do both. This will be here on the back side, spreads the load of those engines over this foam transom in a wider area. Gives you a lot of support, keeps your engine solid. Here at Key West, anywhere possible, we use through bolts. We use 3/16 bolts and he'll through bolt these cleats and hardware on using 3/16 bolts. Who use large fender washers and aircraft style nuts. So, you know, they have nylon washers inside, lock washers inside, so it won't loosen up later. So he'll use the 3/16 cleat, the urethane sealer with a backing washer and a nut, and so the boat is reinforced with a backing plate so that it'll be reinforced as fiberglass. You won't ever have a problem with your hardware pulling out. All through the process I talked to you about quality, but here's some of our quality assurance. This paperwork follows this boat from the start to the finish, and we pull the serial number to start shooting the boat. We'll put on the gel coat, the resin, the batch number it was made from, and track the quality control throughout the whole plant. If a customer calls us back 3, 4, 5 years down the road, we'll keep having the history and the data of every manufacturer of every product and all the work that was done on the boat and who done it through the process. Sometimes this looks a little sloppy being able to do it with just a couple trowels, but we found this to be the most effective way to get the putty on. We put a generous amount on it, let it sit down, let the excess come off, and then clean it off. But we want to make sure that this bond is perfect, that it's a solid bond between this hull and deck and this transom area where this engine's going to bolt through. Here's where he's sealing with 5200 the joint between the hull and deck to make sure no water intrusion gets in the hull. As he's cleaning this seal up, this isn't the only seal that we have. As this shoebox fit here, sealed up underneath, the foam that we're going to inject inside of this hull will come up through. We have a barrier to keep it from sticking to this part, but the foam will come up and adhere. This whole area right here will glue it all together, come up in and seal behind it, and it's a closed cell flotation, so it glues this hull and deck joint together and gives us a really good seal so we don't have any problem with water getting in. And covering this joint will be a rub rail, and that rub rail will be sealed also. Make sure no water gets into this joint. So it's just the perfect way to seal it. Yeah, here we are. We're starting to look like a boat now. The hull and deck has come together. The putty is hard, and we're going to start to put all the accessories and rigging and make the boat specific to the dealer. The order form is here with the boat, and we'll fill it out. The employees know what they're supposed to do, and we'll get this boat built specifically for the customer with all the accessories he needs. Here's one thing that should make everybody a whole lot more comfortable. Key West Boats has gone all through its construction phases where we've started customizing this boat for the dealer or the consumer. Now what we've done with all its structure intact of the boat here, now we're foam filling this boat. We've already foam filled the stringer, put some in the hull, but now we've gone in and put a liquid foam that's run all the way to the bottom on the outside of that stringer, and it's free rising now, and it's rising all the way up, and it's going to come all the way up and glue this whole joint together through this rod holder, and then we'll put this rod holder down in place, fasten it in place, nip off the drain tube so any water that comes in and gets in this rod holder can get its way out all the way to the build so the boat doesn't gain weight later. But you know, everything's closed cell flotation, but we always want to make sure, keep in mind here at Key West Boats, we find place for water to make its way back to the bilge so the boat doesn't gain weight. Here at this stage of the boat, it's getting more custom to the dealer. Now we're putting the console in, we're putting the motor pre-rig in, the steering, the gauges, the seating inside, the rubber rail is put in place. This is an extra seal over the top of this joint we put in, and from this point on, it'll get the rigging process finished, and then it'll go through our QC department and checked over, buffed, waxed, going through the final QC process in assembly. Then we'll go to rigging motors. Here we are close to the end of the production of our boat. We've gone through all of our steps of the lamination and assembly. We've gone through its quality assurance program to make sure everything is built right, that we're not going to have any issues. Now it's time to put the motor on, and it's a dealer's motor of choice, and we'll put the motor on, check all the gauges, check all the instrumentation, go through one more quality control program, put its final coat of wax on the boat. Every boat that leaves Key West Boats gets a coat of wax on it. We'll put its final coat of wax on it and get it prepared for shipping. Here's the final step. We've built a quality Key West boat. Get loaded on the truck, sent to your dealer, and then we'll come straight to you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. After seeing this, I hope you'll agree that Key West Boats is the best built and best value in boating today. But more importantly, I think Key West Boats are the safest boats built for you and your family.